Hello and welcome to what is actually the first demo disc I ever owned. So that's pretty cool. So this isn't going to be like an in-depth look at it. Whilst I do want to do something like that, I'm just testing things out, so you're just coming along with me for said testing. I hope that's okay. But yeah, this was the first demo disc I ever owned. Gonna go through some of the games, some of my favorite games that are on here, and talk about them for a bit. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So as you can see, this is the European demo. There was this big contrast between like American and European demos. Like the European demos were very like trippy. You'll see from like the music. I mean, this intro in of itself is immediately very trippy. But this demo disc as a whole is incredibly trippy. But the American ones were like they were like very like metal. They had like chrome colors and were like rah video games, big. This is what's the word I'm looking for? They were very like I don't want to say they were like masculine, even though they fucking were. They were like sci-fi metal plates all over the place, and it was very I don't use the word grungy, but I've just used it. So yeah, it was sort of like portraying video games as like this very metal, this very manly thing to do. But the demo discs in Europe were all about like trippy aesthetics, being like, "Yo, video gaming is wild. Look at that controller. It's like it's like all blurry and shit." Um, And yeah, this demo disc is a fucking vibe. It is a vibe. There's water, there's like trippy sound effects. If you've got a DualShock controller, which I actually don't at the moment, so I won't be able to feel this. But like the controller vibrates whenever you select a game, and yeah, I imagine that was like whoa at the time. Well, it was. I played it. It was pretty cool. I also didn't know any better because I was a stupid child. But yeah, as you can see, this is quite the vibe. This is definitely a vibe. So yeah, we got games, we got video, and we have games and video. Uh, there's two videos on this disc, I think. I can't remember what the other video is, but one of them is a video for Metal Gear Solid, and I know that because I watched it a lot. Yeah, there's Metal Gear Solid. Spice World. Well, there's no wonder I didn't remember it. And yeah, I could probably list off all of the games. I have to press triangle to go back. That's a sign of the times. Yeah, I could probably list every game on this disc. I played it so much, but I'm not going to. I was literally about to say I just know that Gran Turismo is going to be the first game that pops up here, but I digress. Let's let's find an awesome game, possibly. In fact, yeah, I want to say my favorite puzzle game of all time, um, and possibly one of my favorite games. Well, I mean, if you had a favorite game of every genre, this would be my favorite puzzle game. So I suppose it is one of my favorite games of all time. It's Cooler World, or also known as Roll Away in North America. I don't really know what Cooler World means. Roll Away as a name makes more sense, but Cooler World has more of that. You know that vibe I was just speaking about? That's what the name Cooler World has. By Game Design Sweden, I assume they smoked a lot of weed and took a lot of LSD when they made this game because it's a bit fucking wild. You're a beach ball, and like you gotta collect keys and coins and listen to this sound when you eat the fruit. Is not just the most delicious sounding fruit you've ever heard in your life in any video game? I don't know what Link's doing in Tears of the Kingdom at the moment, but he ain't making those noises when he eats his food. I can tell you that for sure. And yeah, you can't really see in the bottom left-hand side of the screen because I haven't sorted out like the safe areas for all of my screens, and that's sort of the point of this short exertion into this PlayStation 1 demo disc. But you collect a number of keys, which are displayed in the bottom left-hand corner of the screen, and these sunglasses are not here in the final release. That's interesting. Yeah, you collect the requisite amount of keys, which unlocks the ending, which allows you to go to the next level. If you run out of time, you lose, and these hourglasses will flip the hourglass, as you can see. And whatever points you have accumulated, if you die, those points are removed from your points total, and when you run out of points, it's game over. Which I think is a pretty cool system instead of using lives. You know, a lot of games at the time were using lives, and Cooler World was like, that's kind of lame. We'll put lives into our game, but kind of differently, you know? Sort of differently. Yeah, we should be able to go right around here, so yeah, that's pretty cool. These bonus levels was personally my introduction to the world of stereoscopic 3D. I am just making a lame joke here, but fuck, these are very trippy. And if you sort of cross your eyes, it sort of looks a little bit... It just looks sick. That's what I'm trying to say. And that's the end of the demo. I remember there being more levels in that demo, but I'm probably thinking of one of the Euro demos that was released with the official PlayStation magazine. PlayStation discs were like 700 to like 800 megabytes in size. I think they got a bit bigger later on, but they were basically just regular CDs. So when it comes to these demo discs, they had to like really squish these games down. And it's quite amazing they got so many on one disc, but a lot of the time the games will either have like, you know, 3 simple levels like that, or you'll find them reusing music from other demos. I know there's lots of demos that had music taken from other games and put into like games that they weren't supposed to be in. Just they were sharing music to save space on the disc, which is cool. Obviously, it would not be a PlayStation 1 video without a mention of Spyro. Spyro's one of the best games ever made, if not the best game ever made. I think I've played pretty much every demo release of Spyro, which is really interesting because the game wasn't actually finished when they were releasing these prototypes, and as you can see, the Artisan's World doesn't even have its music yet. Could have been for the reason I mentioned just a moment ago. But yeah, anyway.
Thank you for releasing me. Free the dragons in the Artisan World, then seek out the balloonist. He'll transport you to the next world.
What about Nasty Norg?
That's all I can tell you.
His dialogue is slightly different from the final version. He's just as sexy as he is in the final version, which is very good. Some of these dragons are voiced, a lot of them just have text though in this demo.
Go after some sheep first. Those little creatures release butterflies, which Sparks the dragonfly eats. Sparks protects you.
That's also different in the final release, but we're not here to talk about the differences between demo Spyro and release Spyro. That will be in a different video, don't worry. But this is one of the greatest levels ever made in a 3D platformer. Dark Hollow, I love this level. This level is beautiful, and again, I've been saying this all video, but it's an absolute vibe. Like, if you were gonna live somewhere, if I could live anywhere in a video game, like, this place is pretty high on the list. Like that moon, that is a beautiful moon, accompanied by a just as beautiful skybox. These skyboxes are some of the best skyboxes in the entire world. Again, I would like to make a whole video about these, but yeah, they're just like soft sort of pastel colours that like sort of blend and mix together really nicely for such a simple, like almost 2 or 3 tone sort of skybox, but you know immediately what it's supposed to be, and they're just mesmerizing. A lot of my desktop wallpapers have been these skyboxes over the years. They are simply just some of the best skyboxes ever made. So the next dragon we get should be a text dragon, I believe. I know I've missed a dragon for any of you Spyro players. Also, interestingly, these Norks here that I've just accidentally killed, they actually have blood on their sword. Let me see if I can find another one. But yeah, they have blood on the tip of their dagger, which was actually removed in the European versions of the game. Here, you can see it here. You can see he's got this little red shade on his dagger. That was removed in the European version of the game, but it was kept in the American version, which is really interesting. Yeah, we'll quickly grab this dragon. And you see this is just text. And right here, we have the little red gem on the return home portal. That is not usually there. I actually think that's a pretty cool idea because it forces the player to go through every vortex if they are 100%ing the game. Whereas if you've played Spyro and you've 100%ed it, after each level, you mainly just do this. And that's it. There's no real reason to go to the vortex, which is completely fine. In fact, having the agency to do whatever it is you want in a 3D platformer game is you know, it's the best thing in the world. But those vortexes are also cool, and they signify like a beginning and an end of a level. And I don't know, I'm sort of here for it. I think Toasty will be blocked off. If I could clip through here, you'd be able to see there's just a stone wall behind there. But yeah, I think we've looked at Spyro enough. Also, let's just go to the balloonist because he should say something about the game not quite being finished, which is quite funny. There are many more worlds for you to explore. I will take you to see them when the game is finished. Isn't that cute? That is just very cute. Yeah, we've got another like amazing, like one of the best skyboxes like in the entire world. And anyone who has played Spyro through to completion may have noticed that like these like worlds like alternate between like, you know, the magical type worlds that like are filled with like these greens and blues and like pastel skies, and they like switch from like that kind of world to like mechanical worlds like the Peacekeepers, Nasty's world, the Beastmakers that are like full of like machinery, and they use like lots of like browns to like, I don't know, it's just a nice contrast between like the magical worlds and like the sort of like machinery based worlds. But I think that is enough about Spyro. Let's see if we can get back to the menu. I think you press select. There we go. Oh yeah, this little thing. Glide, charge, jump, and flame, run, and... Glide, charge, jump, flame, run, and fly. That is 6 things. That is a lot more than games these days. Which is very nice. I like that boy there. He's very cute. We'll play one more game real quick. Which I was going to play Crash Bandicoot 3, but I think that's what everyone's expecting me to play. So I'm going to play Tomb Raider 3 instead. There it is. Look at that Stingray. Stingrays are so cute. He is the original Flat Boy. Flatus Boyus. So yeah, there were so many releases of Demo 1. Like when I was like searching for this demo, I was just searching for Demo 1. I didn't quite realize how many versions of Demo 1 there was. which is what led me to discovering the American versions of Demo One and, seeing like the distinct differences. But yeah, this is Tomb Raider 3. This is. I don't recognize the level, but I think it's the same level where you get the MP5, actually. I think to open the gate, we climb up here. There's like some lasers you have to walk through. And that alerts like the guard. Yep. He's got fucking MP on his jacket. Anyway. We sort of run past the guard who's doing a terrible job of keeping us in our cell. And we should have our pistols in here. Yep. I'm forgetting the control scheme for Tomb Raider. That happens, the guns appearing in the corner. That doesn't happen in Tomb Raider 3. Not to my knowledge anyway, has been a long time since I played the game, but that's something that happens in Tomb Raider Revelations, which is the next game, Tomb Raider 4. So maybe they were working on that when they released this demo. I don't know. Who knows? This guy doesn't know. He definitely doesn't know now. Why am I pressing circle? Have I been playing the Japanese version or something? I don't even know if there is a Japanese version too. There probably is. Maybe the last time I played it, I was on my PSP that had X and circle swapped for the old Monster Hunter games. Monster Hunter Portable 2. So yeah, it's X I want to press on these items. That is a rocket. Those are some shotgun shells, not a pack of cigarettes. There's a medkit. These are some flares, not a pack of cigarettes. And another medkit. It's so quiet now. It's just like, I don't know, it's just me and you right now. How are you doing? How is your day, viewer? I'm sorry that you've stumbled across this channel. There's probably so many better things to spend your attention on, to be honest. I actually really like the atmosphere of Tomb Raider. Fun fact, I think this is a fact. I think I read this somewhere. These are the kind of things when I make these videos. These are the kind of things that I actually want to like check before I go flapping my lips as if it's the truth. But I remember reading a interview, maybe like with the director of the original Tomb Raider games. I don't know what his title was, but it was someone involved with the original Tomb Raider games, and they said that they had to replace. Oh, that is, I'm getting shot by something. What the hell was that? Yeah, he said that they had to remove a lot of the enemies and replace them with animals because they didn't like the idea of the player coming across people from different countries and their first like instinct is to just shoot them. He didn't like that, so we changed a lot of the enemies into animals, so people wouldn't, so that wouldn't be a thing. But then people just felt bad about shooting the animals, so it didn't really work. Maybe the moral of the story is that you probably shouldn't shoot anything. That's the takeaway message. So how are we going to get around that automated machine gun? I don't actually know. I think what this means is that I need to sit down and play through Tomb Raider 3 again and refamiliarize myself. Because this is an amazing game. So I'm just going to make a run for it. Oh, there's those lasers. I should be able to jump over them. Okay. It let me jump over them, but then it was like, oh wait, no, actually, you're dead now that your feet have touched the floor. That's fine. I will conquer that demo another day. For now, That's all I've got for you. This has been something of a test recording, but I'm gonna upload it anyway. So if you've enjoyed it, do let me know. And yeah, I'll be making more of these, don't worry. Yeah, that's all I've got for you. So take care and enjoy the rest of your day. Subscribe if you want, like if you want, leave a comment if you want. But you don't have to. Your attention is your own. I'm not here to steal it. I'm just here to entertain it. Alright. See you all next time.